chatting with Rachel Senko, who is both a yoga instructor and nutrition coach and owner of Up Yoga and Wellness, but also a singer, having released
Yeah.
music on CD and competing at the Sanderson Center during the Breath of Fresh Air competition. Thank you for joining us, Rachel.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm just tickled pink that I get to, even though we have to be physically distanced during this time, we don't have to be socially distanced. So,
Rachel, I'd like to ask, how has COVID-19, how has the pandemic changed what you do both with your singing and your business?
Right. So my singing is very much part of my business in the way that as a yoga instructor and a nutrition and health coach, I opened up my yoga studio just to serve my clients, to offer them a integrated experience where they could move their body, where they could learn to eat better and make shifts in life, but where they could also be really nourished with music. So I don't know if you've been to one of my yoga classes, Kara, but I love to sing at the end of my yoga classes. And I'll often weave the song that I'm singing, the intention or the message of the song that I'm singing through the class. Because I think that when we pair movement with an inspirational message, that song that kind of ties it all together really creates that integrated holistic experience. So I have been trying to do that online, which has been really interesting. It's a weird thing to see yourself on a screen teaching and talking, but it's been a definite growth curve for me for sure. But as far as my business goes, I'm doing the same thing just online and singing more for myself these days than also singing for other people. So realizing that music is a way of cathartic, to have catharsis or to express yourself when the busy mind can't necessarily sort everything out.
So what has the response been like to doing yoga online?
It's been pretty good, Victoria. It's really interesting. I wish I had encountered yoga when I was much younger. I started practicing when I was in my late 20s. And I think that more and more people, because you can't go to the gym or you can't even go to some of the parks, especially as the weather's getting nicer, people have been looking for ways to move their body from home. And yoga is just a really convenient way where you can get a cardiovascular lift. You can get some resistance training in 5 or 6 square feet. So I think that people are getting more curious, yoga curious, and the response has been pretty good for myself, but also for sister yoga studios like Moto Yoga Cambridge and Brantford. A lot of people are just trying it out, learning new ways to nourish their mind and body.
Rachel, you said that you took up yoga in your 20s. When did you take up singing?
That's a great question. Literally when I was 8 months old, my Dido, which in Ukrainian is grandpa, he would put me on the kitchen table and sing, and he noticed that I would sing back. I would try to literally mimic what he was doing. And he used to tell me "Spivai kachka," which in Ukrainian means "sing little bird," and I just would sing. And that's where I started singing. And both of my parents are very musical. My mom, bless her, force-fed us all piano lessons and music lessons. So we kicked and screamed when we had to sit down and do piano lessons with her and sing with her, but it all paid off in the end.
So Rachel, obviously there's a big importance in music within your family. Can you talk about the importance of music in your life?
Definitely. I really believe music is therapy. Music is a blanket for the soul. In yoga, we teach people how to step out of the analytical mind that's trying to guess or predict the future, rehash the past. And we do that through a moving meditation, through breath work, And we really learned through yoga practice and breath work to integrate the mind and the body and the spirit. And I feel like music is one of those things. In fact, I know it is because I took music therapy courses in university, that music is a way that it accesses, in a therapeutic way, it accesses the brain, the emotions, the body. There's literally a physical response when you listen to music and a spiritual response. And so it's just another way that we can step out of just here, referencing to life through here, and kind of feel life and process it through another channel, which often can really help people. And I think that in a time like this, music is so important because it offers another outlet for people to be lifted and find a little bit more resiliency in their mind and also in their body. And that's for me what it's always been. It's been a way to communicate with life, to communicate with situations in a way that I don't have to think about or analyze. I just express and feel. And I think that's a really beautiful thing.
For sure. Do you think there's a link between health and the arts, like emotional health and physical health? Can the arts provide that?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, absolutely. And I have a specific example of this. In one of my yoga classes, I was singing a song that I wrote at the end of class, and I got this message from a gentleman he was a younger fellow who would come into the yoga class and drop his kids off for kids yoga. He had 2 young boys, and then he would take my yoga class. So the kids yoga and the adult yoga class would happen at the same time. And I sang this song at the end of class. And he messaged me a week or 2 later saying, this movement has been really good for me to process my life right now because my wife left me and I'm raising my 2 boys on my own. But he said, when you sang that song at the end of the class, and the song was very much a song of, it's a song I wrote for my brother and I actually sang at Breath or Fresh Air competition. It's called What Makes the Measure of a Man. And he said, when I sang that song, something inside of his mind and his heart shifted, and he knew for the first time in a little while that he was actually going to be okay. And that's just an example of how music can take us out of this space, which kind of can get stuck in different patterns of thinking, and offer a new perspective that enters our consciousness in a way that kind of bypasses the analytical mind. And so I think that music and art is incredibly important for mental health. And I do also feel that this COVID thing has offered opportunity for people to understand that in a new way.
Very good. So Rachel, on May 22nd, we're going to have Brantford Presents Take 3, and you've graciously volunteered to be a part of that event. We're looking forward to that.
So excited.
Can we ask what you're going to do as far as a song? Will be originals, some cover tune? What are you looking to do for that performance?
I was really hoping to share originals that I had wrote and offer a story or just like the story I told you about the song that I sang in the yoga class, and just how my songs really come out of a place that is seeking to nourish and offer people a lift, help them feel uplifted. That's usually the slant that my music takes. So hopefully all originals, and maybe one of my favorites that I didn't write.
All right.
Rachel, I don't mean to pry, but I can't get through this interview without asking when you and your husband Ben are expecting.
We are very excited to welcome our first little baby into the world mid-July. And we're just super pumped. I've been singing and playing the guitar every day. And I'm pretty sure that that little person can feel the vibrations of the guitar and the music. And hopefully when we get to meet that little individual, they'll march right on over to the wall and pick up my guitar.
Yeah. Well, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay. So can they follow you on social links or anything like that?
Definitely, Victoria. You can follow me on yoga.wellness on Instagram or Facebook. And you can also follow me on Instagram as Rachel Senko Music.
Great.
Very good. Thank you so much
Yeah.
for being part of this interview today, Rachel. We're looking forward to having you on Brantford Presents Take 3 on May 22nd. So thank you for doing this.
Thank you so much for inviting me in. Truly honored.